Look, something about these beats,
something
about these rhymes, something about my team, something about the time. Feels like we down one, ball in hand, but I'm LeBron. And my coat somewhere in the air with a throne is a chair and a magic wand. Yeah, I'm God's girl. I was meant to be. I'ma give you her story, some of history. You'll mention me.
I'm Sol Tha N.U.T.S.
The necessary Malcolm meant by any means. I'm the morning after Mr. Martin Luther's dream. I write these raps in the seat in the back where Rosa sat. All that pill popping, no butt dropping type rap. We done had about enough of that.
Where is the soul in the music? I just don't feel it no more. I just don't hear it no more. Where is the soul in the music? Yeah. I just don't feel it no more. I just don't hear it no more. Where is the soul in the music? I just don't. Come on. It's Mama Sol and the Nuts. And we back. Y'all ready? Okay. Look, eyes open, giving thanks, yeah, my day started. Joy cometh in the morning, baby, okay, I got it. Dedication and determination, I'm driven, man. Yeah, I'm winning, so we spinning just like a ceiling fan. To whom much is given, much is taking a toll on them. And instead of quitting, they just lifted the load on them. God's grace and replacing feeling hate and occasional anal fakes. In my face, I'm feeling great.
This woman is absolutely amazing. I want y'all to give it up for Mama Sol and the N.U.T.S.
My feet planted, I'm deep as the Titanic. You're seeking the sight of a giant, and this is my planet. Pink panties with no pocket in the waistline. Wigs fitting like I'm your beautician trying to take mine. Going hard against a low-carb South Beach rapper. Eating all the beef, and yeah, it's prayer time. Rabbits with fairy tales, what they believe in. Hunting season, bedtime, tucking weekend fees in. I'm on the bench, I'm on the line during crunch time. Damn time, got a hungry sister in the lunch line. Motion picture poet clown, if you ain't know, you know it now. I chop them down shorter than a sitcom. It's best you double check what you invest in. Thinking they the shit, consider this intestines. And I'm majestic without a ring or necklace. Blessed with a gift to keep my name on the guest list. The latest, greatest, hottest, brightest polished gold. And the name is Mama Sol, #1 chief rocker. Think I play soccer as a pro. I kick it just to get in my goal. The flow's much hotter, like a rockin' up fur coat in the sun. A word to mama, the girl prone to blow. So I got them sweating like flannel pajamas. They got the feet in them, they back against the rope, and so I'm laid out in. Yeah. Got my change in my dough like a gold at a turnpike. We should sucker wood like a termite. Heard about them hating where you heard right, they lying. I'm a tiger, I ain't gotta try to earn stripes. So know that they're the least of my concern easily. Needing this equipment shaking in your boot shiver. To the parents like a mountain to a mound. The best sound, not a flip down and wow. I can feel it coming. You feel it, man? You all feel it? Come on, boy. For this moment, for all of my life. There we go. Yes.
It's easy to think that positivity and music with a message doesn't necessarily have a market in a space like Flint. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to be inspired. I don't care how tough you are, you know, and that's one thing that I've learned is that it's not like we try to be positive. This is really who we are, you know. I can't sit down and write a song about shooting somebody or popping pills or sipping syrup. I don't do any of that, you know. My message is more so geared towards giving these kids something that they can aspire to become besides the Nicki Minaj's and the, you know, and not even to not what they're doing, but, you know, everybody needs balance. And so I think our message and our music and everything that we're doing as a unit really provides balance.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the negative that's going on or the negative you expect from Flint, for me personally, that's another driving force to do something that you don't expect. I mean, that's not why we do it, but the negativity, it helps you to do the music that you're doing, because it's just like, yo, with everything, with all this crazy going on, it's like you can find peace in music, you know what I mean? So it's like all this negative, all the negative, everything that's happening, it's like, it's driving the music to be positive, I think. I mean, it makes you want to see somebody's expression change or see somebody's life change that was in a negative or a dark place, you know, see light because they heard a song or, you know, this music moved them or something Sis said, you know, it made them feel a certain way or even encouraged them to follow their dreams or find their dreams, you know what I mean? So it's like that negative energy, you just put it behind you and just let it push you on forward to doing what you're doing, you know? You don't have to go along with that, you know, just because everything else is negative.
Sol believes it is her obligation to inspire others, especially today's youth, with a soulful voice that delivers a message that will inspire them. She strives to impact the world, but ultimately inspires others to be committed to learning, to being responsible world citizens, to follow their arts, and to live out their dreams. Please welcome Mama Sol.
Thank you. He was reading that, and I'm like, man, every time somebody talks about you, you know, it's kind of like a reminder, right? And I was talking to the young ladies that came over and spoke to me earlier, and I was telling them everybody has their own story. So to the children that are going to read today, you have your own light that you will shine on us, okay? No one else has your story. No one can tell your story for you. Just don't leave your book on the shelf. Start writing your own book and share it with the world. Every single person is different. And that's the beauty in life. We compete and we compare and we judge, and all of those things are things that we need to remove from our lifestyles, because why would I compete with you knowing I'm not you and you're not me, and there will never be another me and there will never be another you? Instead of competing, why don't I embrace our differences? And that's the beauty in the world. And so that's why my travels abroad, when I sit in the airport in the Netherlands and I see all of the different cultures and hear the different languages being spoken and the way that people dress. And, you know, to embrace the beauty in difference is it's a great thing, right? And everyone has this dream. Everyone has a dream and wants to aspire to become something. If it's poetry and you want to do this for a living,
I am a living testament that when you choose that's what you want, you will do, that's what you'll do, that's what you'll get. Life is this reciprocal thing, right? And it's this thing called karma, and it's what you put out into the universe is what you'll receive back. When you put your intentions in the right place, and then you put your attention on your intentions, and you work at that one thing, and that one thing that makes you lose track of time when you do it, that's what you should take on as a profession. And so I found myself losing track of time whenever I did this. And whenever I was able to look a child in the eyes and tell them something that I saw, that something came on, a light came on, right?
Artemis here. Very happy to have Mama Sol in the building right now. How are you?
I'm great, man. You can't complain.
You were here just not too long ago, and what I love about you is you're all about the city and you're all about positivity.
Absolutely.
And I love that about you. Another thing that I love about you is that you always speak your mind. That's what it's always been. And introduce your friend in here.
Oh, this is my musical director from the Nuts, G-Dash.
Yo, what's up?
Go ahead and get close to the mic, man.
There you go. See, he's just playing.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Let me know what's going on.
Yes. So we're here today because there's a lot of artists that have come out with music as far as the Flint water crisis goes, which I think is awesome. It brings awareness. Whether your fan base is more street music, whether it's all sorts of different genres of music have come together for this Flint water crisis. And the one thing that I noticed with your song, it's so different compared to what you normally do. It's hard. It's got all of your songs have emotion, but this one especially. Go ahead and talk about Hard to Swallow, your song about the Flint water crisis.
Well, I was angry,
Yeah.
I'm affected by this. That's the difference, and I appreciate everything that everyone is doing for our city.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're living through this crisis and you really have to get up, and it's 3 people in my house and each one of us need 3 gallons of water a day just to wash up, and I'm constantly over my kid's shoulder who's an athlete and is in gyms, and the water faucets are on to continue to remind him that water is poison, and
right.
You're familiar with the Tuskegee experiment, and you're familiar with population control, and you're familiar with mass poisoning and genocide. It angers you to actually experience that. Now we come in peace with the intent to increase and restore hope for the hopeless, and love is the focus. I pray that this message will reach far beyond them clouds, God. We need you involved now. Your spirit is needed, so this isn't repeated. Why is it like this, a crisis? I cry with my right fist lifted for my brothers and sisters. These little kids are becoming statistics. The Tuskegee experiment, like they did with syphilis. Honestly, I'm questioning if this was intended. What made you go and change the water source that Flint gets? Answer me that. Emergency management? Obvious fact. Your family's not residents of the city, affected by your lack of concern. Your inappropriate protocol, cutting your costs. But what's the sense of saving money, though, when lives are lost? And now these corrupt cover-ups, you're hiding the facts. Had the mayor drink a cup and tell us all to relax. And then put that on the news because it's legal to lie. To the public and the media, we need a reply. Mr. President, your government is governing suffering, got a governor whose only defense is his incompetence. He could have stopped it. Instead, he said, go ahead. He gave him the green light, knowing the pipes were loaded with lead that would flow into the ghetto without warning that the poison that was pouring through the metal had no control of corrosion. Hold up. But you hoped that we wouldn't notice? But thank you, Dr. Mona. Respect, Virginia Tech, for putting Flint on your shoulders and did it with no regret. Man, that water was brown. It reeked like rotten eggs. Our babies can't bathe, but the bill gotta be paid. This is blatant terrorism, premeditated murder. You deserve to go to prison, and anybody with you. The politicians getting richer, but the babies getting sicker. Hair loss, skin rashes, anemia, brain damage, not to mention legionnaires. And what brings me to tears are the victims with the symptoms that won't appear till years from now. How you explain it and define it? It's cultural genocide at its finest, but be reminded we've been fighting all our lives. And the darker the night, the brighter the star. The harder the fight, the stronger we are. And we're strictly business, and we also got our pride. And if you don't like it, I suggest you break wide.
Look, well, I got a couple complaints, but even more compliments. To both I give thanks, cause they double my dominance. Either way, I'm on your mind, and yeah, my rhymes might not always speak the volume I prefer, but still, that's fine. Y'all jealous, burn me up with hand. My self-esteem is high, rolling, burn you up a bag. Try and catch me on a cloud soul and sync with the Orion. Starbelt, skywalk now, check out my alignment. Yeah, that's some fly talk, now I exhale, helium. All about my dreams, sorta like more sleeves in them. But I'm the main ingredient to make a mean deal when I don't even need no deal. I play the cards that God dealt and I'm gon' play them heartfelt. Now you call yourself a goon, then approach the goddess. You ain't even got the slightest chance, I'm just being honest. I'm a walking monsoon, making this charade upon this poets take a break and bring the rain on their parade. It's about time for a change. I ain't talking dollar for a quarter sort exchange, no. Y'all ain't got a problem, y'all ain't scared for our future. When a man wears tights and dyes his whole head fuchsia, I got a son to raise, I'm banging Frankie Beverly. And I'ma keep him out the maze, half woman, half amazing. Fuji Chagalia meaning self-determination. All dues been paid except the most highest praises that I do that on the day. This is still nigga literature. Y'all ain't got a cotton picking clue. If we gon' do a bit too much for y'all to chew. Got a smidgen of their miniature. Minuscule, minstrel show approach to being dope to me as weak as selling soap. And I insist feet in the air, so let them soak. This ain't a joint if you can't beat a affair, I got my folk. And I ain't looking for no new comrades. I'm content with Bud, Juice, Farmer, Dre, and Dash. Ain't gotta ask who my crew is. Who I stick my neck out for. Keep my circle tight as a turtleneck, so play blackboard. And chalk it up as a loss. I'm like an off to a cross. We different, it's life and death. I'm enlightened, they turn them off. No, I am not here for the applause nor awards. I got brothers from the fifth ward that will clap. So revisit that metaphor that I mentioned before. We should link up and shit I ignore. More of us, meaning mama, soul, and nuts. Less of that well, for lack of a better term for the garbage they write. For now, we just call it rap, but look, and we ain't here to make friends. We here to make change. And I ain't talking dollar for a quarter exchange. We try to share